Hello and welcome to the 107 podcast with myself, Ash, and my co-host Jacob. Always remember to follow us on all the podcasting platforms that you're on. And
Getting in early. Wow, how professional.
We're particularly active on Instagram and TikTok and a tiny bit on Threads. But I was going to say we have a new race winner.
We
Franz
do.
Hermann.
We do.
Nürburgring specialist.
Round of applause on
trophy.
debut.
On debut. Do you know who else won on a similar debut? Max Verstappen when he joined the Red Bull team.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, there's some similarities there, you know.
Esteemed colleague at Red Bull Racing there, I think. Franz.
Helmut's like, give me this guy's number then.
I told you, sign him up quick. Straight from rookie to Red Bull, no RB bullshit like Yuki. Anywho, welcome back to the podcast. This week we're obviously going to be talking about the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, and overall,
Wait, do you want to say the full name? Do you know the full?
Is it written down somewhere? Because all I can see
is written down.
Emilia-Romagna. Where's it written down? If you send it out. Oh, yeah, go for it. Send it to me or read it out.
Actually, no, I'm going to send it to you. All right.
Oh, God.
It's so good.
Is it in the chat? Are you just going to drop it in the chat?
I'm going to drop it in the chat because it's just brilliant.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
The Formula One AWS Gran Premio del Made in Italy e del Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
Made in Italy. I love it.
It's such a random thing to just made in Italy. Yeah. But yes, there was racing.
There was racing. There was good racing.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Didn't enjoy it that much. Didn't think it was that great of a race.
I felt that the start of the race was good, with like Max's overtake, and like the gap.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And then it kind of lulled in the middle when we had the virtual safety car, and then it kind of got better towards the end when we had the safety car. So it's like a little dip.
Yeah, that was like the only thing really that made it interesting.
That's true. I was hoping for a safety car.
Well, yeah, I was kind of hoping for a safety car as well for different reasons. But yeah, I mean, then again, your favorite driver got screwed over by the safety car. So
I know. Both of them got screwed over.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good. But yeah, I like I said, it was an okay race. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't terrible. That's just my overall thoughts.
Should we start with quali? Because quali was super interesting.
Yeah, quali was an odd one. So why don't you kick off with your thoughts on quali?
Well, we had the big incident with Yuki.
Yes, that was bad.
That was bad. So it looked like the car bottomed out and then hit the tire, flipped. It was very similar to Zhou's incident at Silverstone.
Yeah.
A few years ago. Luckily, he got out of the car okay. He was fine the next day, and it just shows you how far Formula One safety has come. Like the halo, like I didn't like the halo at the start, but simply because it looked ugly. But like, it's proved its worth every single time, and I'm really glad it's there.
Yeah, I think for me, not about halo, but for me, like when the crash first happened, genuinely, I don't know what the coverage was like on Sky Sports. Excuse me. I don't know what the coverage was like on Sky Sports, but on F1 TV, it just showed the car there, and I was like, oh, he's binned it, whatever. Then they showed a replay, and I was like, oh, no, that looks like a big one. That was a big one.
Yeah, it was the same. They showed the card there, and I think maybe it's kind of one of those ones where we've got to make sure he's okay before we show the replay. And luckily, he got out, and then we saw the replay. I was like, whoa, that's a big one.
Yeah, that was a scary one, and amazing to see him just walk away very, very quickly. Yeah, that was obviously the big talking point in terms of Q1. Q2, I'd argue there's also actually, was it? It was the big talking point at Q1, but then also Ollie Behrman's disallowed lap that would have put him up into Q2.
I was about to say, like, before we get into Q2, like Ollie Behrman's like, is he in? Is he not in?
Yeah.
It took a long time to like work it out inside. It's like, get on with it. You should know.
Yeah, they should know. That should have been dealt with a lot quicker than it was. Yeah, tough for Behrman because he put the lap in, but yeah, just didn't just didn't get any luck because of the red flag.
Missed it by that much.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But it did mean that Bortoletto got into Q2. I mean, outrageous. I wasn't expecting it at all. Out-qualified Nico as well, which doesn't happen normally. So yeah, he did very well. And then the only other note I had from Q1 as well is Franco Colapinto obviously didn't make it through to Q2. And I think overall the entire weekend, it wasn't the strongest weekend for Colapinto. It wasn't like UK, he came in and you've gone, oh, yeah, this is why they put him in the seat and not Doohan. I don't think he did anything much better than Doohan would have done it. Just got not so far, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'll give him some races to understand and see where he's at.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so far it's like you've not really made a big improvement over Doohan.
No, not really.
I also, his fans are very, very intense.
I don't really want to discuss any of that, to be completely honest. It's just absolute.
Well, did you see the thing where, like, who was it? They Formula Fakers.
Yeah.
Did you see that thing?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it's just so bad. Creating fake social posts.
I know.
Never goes down.
And then which got picked up by news sources.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on.
Yeah. But it's also classic news source not verifying their sources. Like, it wouldn't have taken long to check, you know? But anyway, Q2, I think Q2 was arguably made by Ferrari not making it through to Q3.
Yeah.
Just had an absolute stinker of a quali, but they made up for it in the race. I would argue they recovered in the race, that's for sure. But yeah, that was the stinker of Q2, which it's almost like in the race and then quali. You have Aston Martin who did really well in quali and Ferrari who did shit in quali, and then it's almost like they swapped places because then Aston Martin got screwed in the race and Ferrari did quite well in the race. So they did essentially swap places. And so it was disappointing for me not to see Aston Martin carry that performance through into the race. They did get, screwed over a little bit by safety car, but still, it was still disappointing, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Ferrari, I'd rather get points on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, points come on a Sunday, so it doesn't really matter.
On a Saturday, but they obviously need to work on the qualifying pace of the car, especially with Monaco coming up.
Yeah,
and track position. I think David Coulthard said it. Track position is key.
Yeah,
is it king? Well, either way, he raves on about track position, and that's proof because Max showed okay, I didn't get on pole, but I was on P2, managed to get to P1 by the end of the first lap, arguably by the end of the first couple of corners, and he went on to win the race.
Yeah.
So even if your car's not the quickest, if you're up there, you can make the most out of it. So imagine if there were 2 or 3 positions up, we could have seen Lewis Hamilton on the podium.
Yeah, it could have been that simple. Which would have been crazy. I do hope that there is some sort of Ferrari podium at some point.
I mean, Ferrari international assistants will make.
Yeah, probably. Well, let's wait and see. But yeah, and then Oscar on pole, obviously, absolutely fantastic. There was not much in it at all, and deserved. But the thing for me is watching Lando just have an absolute stinker of a lap. I don't know what happened. It just completely fell apart.
Strange. He does well at Imola.
Yeah, and he did well enough in the race. Obviously, the safety car definitely helped him a bit, but it was a bit odd. And I'm hoping that he can bounce back a little bit at Monaco, but with potentially the upgrades that Red Bull brought this weekend, I don't know if it's going to be that easy for McLaren. But I don't know. I feel like also some tracks, McLaren come in, nail it, and then the next week, no idea what they're doing with the car.
I think the car's pretty consistent. Like Oscar and Lando were quickest during practice. I think Red Bull needed the practice sessions to work out how to get the best out of the car. And then once I did, Max does what Max does, and could have put it on pole. Yeah, I think Monaco is going to be interesting because it's a very driver dependent track as well.
Yeah.
Max does well there, Oscar does well there, Lando does well there, Carlos does well there,
Yeah.
Charles does well there. So
Lando hasn't won at Monaco though, has he?
No, he's been on the podium.
Yeah.
But no, he hasn't won there. So we'll see. We'll see.
It could be anyone. I think that's the key point for this week. Actually, anyone could win in Monaco. It's very open for me, at least. I think it's very open. It's not obvious who's going to be on pole.
Yeah, no, really looking forward to the qualifying there. But obviously, the big story from Q3 was Aston's. Aston's had upgrades that
worked. The car.
They worked. It's like they bought something and it made the car quicker. And that was from being the slowest car in Miami to one of the quickest cars in, was it Gran Premio made in Italy, AWS, Emilia Romagna?
It started with AWS. But yeah, they smashed it. Yeah.
This is what happened, right?
Okay.
They were at the Aston Martin fancy canteen. Right? They've come over with the drawings in their hand and they've accidentally dropped it in front of Adrian Newey. Right? And he might have just like squirted some ketchup and like, have a look at this. The airflow could go there. And they picked it up and they've just, sorry, we dropped the paperwork and looked over. And there's no way, right? I know he's focused on 2026. There's no way where he's like, can you just have a look and just cast an eye on it, just maybe give us some guidance?
There's no way they've not gone, hello, Mr. Newey. Hi, sorry to bother you. Do you have an hour? Just to have a quick look at these final, like just sign off on these. They're going to go wind tunnel in a few days. So can you just, cheers. I'll catch you in a bit. Cheers, bye. Yeah. You're telling me that doesn't happen? Like it will. It absolutely will.
Yeah. I think what I also think is like, if there's some of those things where like could, potentially some of these things might work on the 2026 car, Adrian's looking at the 2026 car, we'll get him to.
So I also think that what Adrian will be looking at is wind tunnel correlation as well. So he would also be looking into, these upgrades that are coming from you, let me understand them. Let me see how they're performing in the wind tunnel and let's see how they go through to the car. Because I want to make sure that when I'm testing the 26 car, that if I know that the wind tunnel correlation is correct for the 25 car, theoretically, it should be good for the 26 car. So maybe there's a little bit of work done there to ensure that it's all.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
So it could just be something as simple as that. Literally as simple as that. Yeah.
And they're good upgrades to bring just before Monaco.
Yes, they are.
No, they might get some points.
Let's wait and see. Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's wait and see.
And Lance, his back must be hurting from carrying the team. Good old Lance, getting some points on the board.
If you'd have said that at the beginning of the season, I would have laughed at you. Like Fernando, if you'd have said Lance hasn't scored any points and Fernando's obviously running away with points, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right. Wrong. It's the other way around. It's crazy. But going into the race, I'll be honest with you. Turn one obviously was the best part. It just was. Fantastic, ruthless move by Max Verstappen around the outside. Then I fell asleep.
It was a great move. And even Oscar said this. He braked a little bit earlier than he should have, because that's the kind of move that Oscar does on drivers. But what a move to go around the outside, take it, and then he pulled a gap when he took turn 2 as well.
Yeah,
and that was like, wow, okay, this is Franz Hermann.
Yeah,
I don't know what practice he was doing at the Nürburgring, but yeah, that was a move and a half. That was one of the few overtakes where I looked at it, because they did the overhead shot and you saw just how smooth it was.
It was really well done.
He's good. He is the best driver on the grid right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do feel like throughout the race, obviously, I do feel like Oscar deserved P2. I think he just got screwed over a little bit with the pit stops and the tires and stuff like that. It was a shame, really. But I think, P2 for Lando was a little bit hollow for me. I don't know. It was a good recovery. It has brought some more points back into the swing for Lando, and also kind of brought some more points swinging back towards Verstappen as well, obviously, because not only did Oscar not finish P2, he finished P3. Not finished P1, sorry, or P2, he finished P3, obviously from pole. And so it sort of kept that title race alive a little bit more as well. I don't know what the gap is right now, but you know, it's
Do you want me to have a look at
it? Yeah, I'll let you look at the gap while I ramble on. But it's a good gap. But I still think the funniest thing was George was somehow not anywhere near the podium this time. Nowhere near it.
No, that Mercedes again did an Aston Martin. It went backwards in the race, and unfortunately, Kimi, in his home race, you know, he didn't finish race, which is shame. So Max is on 124 points.
Yep.
Lando's on 133 points.
Okay.
9-point difference. 9 points. And Oscar is on 146. So 11-point difference.
Okay. So it literally could swing race by race at this point.
Well, you know, here's the thing, like, jumping ahead a bit, you know how Max always used to get booed when he was winning all the time. And then I don't know if you've seen the video of him on the podium where you can hear in the background.
Yeah.
And you see it, he has a little bit of a smile and he's like, you know, that's nice. He's doing what we've wanted for a while, which is he's making it a championship fight.
Yes.
Because if it was like Oscar versus Lando, which we haven't really seen much, it's like, oh great, the McLarens.
They still haven't had an on-track proper battle yet.
But Max has come in and like thrown a spanner in the works, and he's made the championship interesting because he's not got the fastest car, but he's still winning races.
No, exactly.
Putting it on pole, getting his car up there. Like he could be Fernando Alonso 2012.
It could be. Yeah, it absolutely could be.
So good on you, Max. Good on you.
Yeah.
And glad people are seeing that.
And do you know what? We weren't far off a Williams podium. At one point, it looked like it was an outside chance, but it could have happened. And you know what? I'm fucking here for it. I am here for the resurgence of Williams. It is so entertaining to watch and so interesting.
I like how news I don't care about 25, but they're doing super well.
They're doing really well. Like I said, I think that the changes that they made obviously for 26 has prepared them for this year. It's like a byproduct of prepping for 26. It's really fun to see.
I have a bone to pick with the FIA.
Oh, with the FIA? Crack on.
Yeah, because it's not fair on Alex, right?
Okay.
Because he was in. So Charles was in 4th, right? And Alex was in 5th.
Yeah.
Okay. So Alex is going for 4th position, right? He gets pushed off by Charles.
He does.
Right? And it was his corner.
Yeah.
So he then gets demoted to 6th because Lewis overtake him, right? So now he's gone from potentially fighting for 4th to now in 6th position, right? And then he gets back up into 5th, but he could have been in 4th. So when Ferrari gave him the position back, because like, hey, we don't want to give you a penalty, they've given back the wrong position. They didn't give back 4th; they gave back 5th.
Yeah,
so it's should have had a penalty.
Yeah, it's not great that they did that. But it's just for me. It's just one of those unlucky things. It's just one of those things.
No, it's not one of those things, right? It's like, look, you should have given the position. You can't give the position back, and you forced him off the track. You need to give the position back, and the position was 4th, and they did not give back 4th. They gave back 5th. So Charles should have had a penalty, 5 or 10 second penalty. So I really feel because he could have got 4th and even more points, but 5th for him, 8th for Carlos. Williams are doing well and did well in qualifying as well.
Yeah, I was looking at the constructors as well, and Williams are in this sandwich. They're sort of leading the midfield because there's like the 4 teams at the front are like battling for the top, and then you've got the midfield, and then you've got the absolute bottom. So you've sort of got like McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari battling it out. Williams are never going to break into that bracket. They're just not, right? Ferrari are on 114 points. Williams are on 51. Then below them in 6th is Haas with 20. So I know it will change race to race, obviously, but I do feel like Williams will just sit in this limbo in 5th for the constructors. And they will be the definition of the midfield team. And then everyone else below will be battling it out for those last positions. And then everyone above them will be battling it out, and they'll sit quite pretty. I would put good money on Williams finishing 5th in the constructors by the end of the year.
Go on, put some money on it.
You know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I will put my money where my mouth is.
I will.
Oh my! Sorry for those who aren't listening, who aren't watching. I've just seen my sunburn in the camera. Wow, I look like a squashy.
You look like a Ferrari pre-Miami.
Look at it. Look at it. Oh no! Yeah, I've got I've
like Ferrari and then Ferrari Miami livery.
That's essentially.
Can we get some shout outs?
I don't want to authenticate this until I know who you're shouting out, but go on.
Oh, shouting out drivers, fool.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, go on, off you go.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah.
Considering he didn't qualify and to get a point in that.
Yeah, mate, smashed it. Yeah, did pretty well. Good recovery drive.
Isaac Hadjar has been flying under the radar.
Fucking smashing it. I really like Isaac.
Super fucking well.
Really like him.
Top 4 or top 3 at one point. And like ever since that Australia incident, he's like, nah, that's behind me. I'm done. On to the next one.
He's come back with a vengeance. He's like actually done really well.
Fair play to him. Fair play to him.
You know what? That's reminded me. Do you want to know my how I did with my fantasy? Because my lineup's not looking too bad, I don't think.
Okay, go on. How did you
do? If I go to completed Emilia Romagna, I got 158 points, which isn't too shabby. So I had Bearman, who got me 4 points, because he gained 2 positions. Colapinto earned me nothing, but I'll be honest with you, I just put him in because he was at the bottom limit of the prices, so I could shuffle in some teams and drivers and stuff. Piastri got me 62 points for finishing 3rd and for qualifying on pole. Bortoletto got me -2 points because he lost 4 race positions. Oof. Isaac Hadjar got me 6 points, which is why I wanted to bring it up. For race position 9th 2 points, qualifying position 9th 2 points, and race overtake bonus 2. So we got 6 points total. And then the teams had a bit of a stinker. I have Mercedes.
The way you said this is I thought you'd done well.
I have Mercedes, so I've swapped in Mercedes as one of my constructors, and I feel like that was the wrong week to do it because and then I got McLaren, who got me 82 points. So I feel like if Mercedes had a slightly better weekend, I would have done all right. But I tried to squeeze in like 2 expensive constructors because it seems like constructors is where you earn your big points, to be completely honest with you. So that was my little strategy. I don't know how our friend did. I have no idea how our friend did, but I will figure it out, and we'll come back to Fantasy Corner, and work that one out. But yeah, race. I think, like I said, hats off to Max. Did very, very well, and can't knock it at all. And yeah, I think, in all honesty, McLaren sort of messed up quite badly by throwing the strategy, and that could have made the race more interesting at the front anyway. In the midfield was semi-interesting, but at the front, I just feel like the strategy team just didn't quite hit the nail on the head, and we're a little unlucky with safety cars and stuff as well. So, but it's all to play for in Monaco
as well.
Yeah, but it's all to play for in Monaco. Okay, so Adam got 172 points.
Oh no!
He also has Mercedes. He just has Albon in his drivers. Yeah, I think he's got a little bit more money than me, so I think that's why. I think he's got some more room in the cost cap, I believe. So
you better fix up, mate.
I better. But I've still got a lot of wild cards to play, so don't you worry. I think he's played 2, and I've only played 1, so I've got that in my back pocket. So anyway, Monaco. Looking forward to Monaco. How are we feeling about Monaco? We might as well briefly touch on it and mention anything.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be similar to the Gran Premio made in Italy, AWS Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I think it's gonna be a Max pole, followed by Oscar, followed by Lando.
Okay.
I said the upgrades have worked well on the Red Bull once they figured out how to get it working. Max is on top form. He does well at Monaco.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's gonna win that race.
I'm gonna go slightly differently.
Okay.
I am gonna say Russell George on pole.
Oh, that is.
I'm going Russell George on pole. I don't know why. I've got a feeling. Do I put my money where my mouth is for this one? Absolutely not. But I've got a feeling. I kind of like it. Do you know the idea of saying George Russell is on pole in Monaco? I don't know. It just sits nicely with me. It sits nicely. I don't know why. So I'm going George on pole. And then I'm going Max and then Oscar. P2 and P3. Like in terms of qualifying, but I see Max winning it.
Okay, how do you see Max winning it?
George loves walls.
Oh, okay.
That's just my opinion. I think George is going to put it on pole, but I don't think he's going to win. I think it'll be Max.
Nah, I agree with you, Max winning, but I think Max will put it on pole.
But can I also make one other teeny tiny prediction? I think Carlos is going to do very well in qualifying and score a big chunk of points.
I think Fernando will do very well.
Fernando could also do. This is the thing. It's going to be super interesting. But I do have some slightly disappointing news. So, I'm at a wedding on Sunday. Do you know what time that is?
Oh, no!
It's during the fucking Monaco Grand Prix!
Oh, man. So that's 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Do you think like they can put some screens up for you? You can sneakily watch it on your phone?
No, this is the problem.
I know you can't watch it on your phone because it's F1 TV.
So I may be able to watch it on my phone. However, my issue is that I'm part of the wedding party. So I can't just be stood there like a guest on my phone. So I don't know how I can't watch it. And I'm going to have to put my fingers in my ear and go la 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 the entire afternoon if anyone mentions anything. So
I won't be able to text you.
But I will be able to watch quali. So there is that.
Okay, that's all right.
So quali, it's I'll be able to see George on pole. But yeah, I won't be able to watch the race live, which sucks. But it is what it is.
I mean, it is Monaco, right? Usually, it's just crashes and whoever's on pole wins. You are literally the most important bit of Monaco is qualifying.
But so the other cool thing, so knowing my luck, this will be the best Monaco Grand Prix in years, right? And one of the things spicing it up is the fact that there are mandatory 2 pit stops this race.
There are.
So
good.
How do you think that's going to play into things? Because I think if they keep the C6, which was also, a little bit of a talking point in Italy, if they keep that could also play into the strategy and stuff as well.
Yeah, it's going to be super interesting because it's not just all right. It's a race. We expect you to be pit at this time, right? There's safety car. There's going to be a safety car.
Yeah,
and there's going to be some teams like now it's time to pit. There's going to be some that's like track position is better. There could be another safety car. So having the 2 pit stops is really going to throw because you can do your 1 pit stop and then you can just stay like Lewis has done it and Seb's done it as well. We're just going to just drive on these tires because you can't overtake me. Yeah. Doesn't matter how slow we're going to go. So the 2 pit stops is a really good idea. Really seeing how that spices up the strategy. And this is where it could be make or break for some teams.
It could be, yeah. It is actually going to
imagine if Ferrari ace the strategy.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Right? We will see.
We are checking. We will check. We are checking.
We are checking. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, let's wait and see. But God knows. I think it is going to be interesting, and I think that Safety cars always mix things up as well, but it could mean that if there was a safety car, and also like with more pit stops, there's a little bit more jeopardy, and there's a lot of like track position playing out as well. It could play into the favor of some smaller teams as well. So, and back markers, I think, are going to be a big thing as well, because people don't get out of the way. So if you have two different pit windows and schedules, the track is going to be messier, not only at one time, but at 2 times. So I think that's going to play into things as well. Clean air is going to be the king of everything. And I think there will be 1 or 2 reasonably smart strategists who will, so let's say, for example, Bortoleto is at the back of the grid, right? You can't overtake from the back of the grid and try and make your way through the field in Monaco. You pit lap 1, go into some clean air. You could try and make up some time and then pit again during the normal pit cycle and maybe jump up some spaces. I don't know. Because it's so hard to overtake. I think within the first 3 to 5 laps, you'll see quite a few people pit.
Really? Oh,
Just get the pit stop out of the way immediately. Put on like the super softs for like the first 5 laps. If there's a safety car, brilliant. Bring it in, put some hards on, whatever. But if not, put on some hards. Come back into the race. You've got lots of clean air. I think it could work.
Oh, we'll see.
Just my opinion. Just my opinion. But I think it could be interesting. I still think a better interpretation of the rule would have actually been, unless it's a wet race, you have to use all 3 compounds. Because then you said that before. Yeah, you have to use all 3. That would make things a little bit more interesting, rather than you have to pit twice. Because you have to use 2 compounds anyway, but people could very easily start on the soft, do 1 lap, pit, put the hards on, and then depending on any sort of drama, within the last few laps, put another hard on. Like using all 3 compounds would make it more interesting. Just saying, FIA. Just saying. I'm available for a job.
Gosh, you got to be vetted by the president first.
Oh, well, yeah. Mohammed loves me. We go way back. But yeah, I think that's about it for this week's podcast.
The news, there's not too much news. There's
no.
There's like new Ferrari merch for Monaco.
Yeah, if
Charles Leclerc is launching.
Have you made the big decision?
So
have you made the big decision yet? Which cap
I don't know. The Monaco one looks really nice.
The Monaco one is nice, yeah.
The Monaco one looks really nice.
Monaco one is cool.
I like how I like the caps that are not red.
No, yeah. As soon as they're not red, it's like sold.
Sold. Yeah. Actually, do you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to the fancy helmets at Monaco.
Yes.
There's always some decent helmet designs.
Always good. Going backwards a teeny tiny bit though, I feel like the Monaco hat, it gives like holiday vibes.
It does give.
That's what it is. That's what that hat gives. I quite like it. Yeah. I feel like it's going to be very popular.
I like the race suit. The race suit's nice and clean.
Race suit, very clean. It looks a lot like the Williams race suit.
It does, doesn't it?
They want Carlos back so bad. They're just trying to look like Carlos. But yeah, I won't be around to record next week, so you will be stuck with Ash. But don't fret, because Ash is an amazing solo host, unless he can get a guest in potentially. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see.
Probably not though.
You go off
Celebrate
someone's happiest day of their lives while seething inside because you can't watch the Monaco
fucking race. I can't watch 20 minutes.
The happiest day of this person's life, and you're just like, why am I here?
I can't see Ferrari bottle the strategy. No, yeah. So we will be back next week.
It's a triple header, so we'll be back on Monaco talking about Spain.
Yes, we will. We'll talk Spain, and we'll talk post Spain as well. Where the new technical directives come in as well, so that could play into some bits and pieces too. A couple of new technical directives around front wings, McLaren. So that could come into play too. So yeah, the next couple of weeks are still very, very interesting. So if you want to listen to some even more interesting podcasts, please do follow on your preferred podcast platform. Say it every damn week. And come and say hello on Instagram, TikTok, not Facebook. We're not boomers. But also on Threads as well. We are on Threads. Yeah, come and say hi. It'd be great to hear from you. Let us know your thoughts. Tell us if we are completely wrong or bang on the money. And we will see you after Monaco.
See you after Monaco.